Which local officials in Portland have said that the National Guard is needed there?
The president is using his authority as Commander-in-Chief, U.S. Code 12406, which clearly states that the president has the right to call up the National Guard.
You can learn a lot from what people don't say, especially in politics. Yesterday, Caroline Leavitt was confronted by Kaitlan from CNN asking one specific question. And it was what she refused to answer that lets you know what is important in this moment. A critical element of what we get from the press, from answers from these MAGA people, we can look to the things they refuse to answer as a roadmap of what thing to continue to drill down on, right? So I'm going to set this clip up. I want to remind you, as I always do, of what the question was, so you can see what her response to the specific question was. Kaitlan asks, which local officials in Portland have said that the National Guard is needed there? Which local officials who are on the ground, who know the situation in Portland, which of them are saying, oh my God, this is an insurrection. Oh my God, this is an invasion. We need the military. Which one? Anyone? What local official? Watch Caroline Leavitt panic, scramble, freak out, avoid answering this specific question.
A federal judge over the weekend that the president had appointed to the bench in his first term in office basically argued that he could not deploy other states' National Guards to Portland, basically said that it was untethered, his argument, to what is actually happening on the ground. Which local officials in Portland have said that the National Guard is needed there?
With all due respect to that judge, I think her opinion is untethered in reality and in the law. The president is using his authority as Commander-in-Chief, U.S. Code 12406, which clearly states that the president has the right to call up the National Guard in cases where he deems it's appropriate. And if you look at what has happened in Portland, Oregon, for more than 100 nights, I was talking to our law enforcement team about it this morning, for more than 100 days, night after night after night, the ICE facility has been really under siege by these anarchists outside. They have been disrespecting law enforcement. They've been inciting violence. We saw, again, a guillotine rolled out in front of this federal building. And so the president wants to ensure that our federal buildings and our assets are protected. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. And ultimately, in the case in Los Angeles, that judge ruled, in the Ninth Circuit, that panel of judges ruled that those troops could remain and that the president was well within his authority to do so. So we are appealing that decision. As you know, we expect a hearing on it pretty quickly, and we're very confident in the president's legal authority to do this, and we're very confident we will win on the merits of the law.
But no local officials that you can point to that have said we need the National Guard? Because I spoke to the police chief of Portland last week. He said that the president's claims just don't match up with what's happening on the ground.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at it for yourself, because there's been many members of the press, not press in this room, but independent journalists, some of whom we'll be inviting to the White House very soon to share their stories, because they have been in the middle of these riots and they have witnessed the anarchy that is taking place night after night. It's on video. You should play it on your show. You have a great opportunity on prime time on CNN to show your audience. Yeah, but you're probably talking to partisan Democrat officials who are opposed to everything this president does. You should also ask the people who live in Portland. We've actually heard from many members of the community who have said that this is complete civil disobedience. It's a mess. It's been loud. It's been troubling for neighbors in the community who are just trying to live peacefully. And these people are not there to peacefully protest. They are there to cause mayhem and havoc.
Not what she asked. She didn't ask, does the president have the right? She didn't ask, where in U.S. code is Donald Trump authorized to deploy troops? Not what she asked. And the fact that Caroline Leavitt doesn't want you to know that there are no local officials, not a single one in Portland government, in Oregon government, that are calling for the National Guard to be deployed to occupy the American city of Portland, Oregon. Not a one. Also, the little wiggle room language that she uses around certain things. Night after night after night, she says, the ICE facility has been really under siege. It's almost like saying, well, essentially, basically, it's virtually under siege. It's under siege. She gives herself away with the language that she uses when she finally does try to answer some semblance of a question. They have been disrespecting law enforcement. Apparently that is the only predicate needed to deploy military troops to a municipality, is if cops were disrespected, is if the secret police, the masked, armed agents of the state of Donald Trump, if they're being disrespected, then we call in the military. Because these steely-eyed urban warfare experts, they can't stand being disrespected. And then I love this. She goes, well, listen, I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and take a look for yourself, because there's been many members of the press. Well, not press in this room, she says, but independent journalists. She means MAGA journalists. She means the Nick Sartors, the what's the little beanie dipshit? Tim Pool, the little Tim Pool sycophant, Nick Sartor, who got arrested the other night. That guy, that's the person you can rely upon for accurate information about Antifa and the threat that the left poses. These people in literal clown costumes protesting ICE out there. There is no under siege from Antifa. There is no under siege in Portland. And disrespect of a cop is not justification for anything. It's not justification for arrest. It's not justification for detainment and questioning. It's not justification. It's a badge of honor, is it not, for a cop? That's part of the job. You are the authority, the armed agent of the state. You can take a little disrespect. Yeah, but you're probably talking to a partisan Democrat official, not some MAGA cult member, she says. Come on. Anyway, again, this is hopefully some sort of education about media literacy for those of you out there. There are probably few, very few, but there will be some who don't pay attention that the question was not answered. They don't hold the question in their mind. I'm guilty of it sometimes. This is a moment to educate. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. We can have it in the comments below the video, wherever you're watching it. Please make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel. Make sure you're liking and following the Facebook page, Dollemore Daily. I would appreciate it very much. And if you want to sound off, do it in the comments or leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.